Okay, so I thought I would just sit and update you here since I kind of left you hanging with the Lion and the Robe situation. It's just so stupid. So I have been doing a lot of thinking about it, and I just don't feel anything there with me and him at all, like not even friends. I think that whole thing is over. That Lion chapter is over now, and I'm ending it. I don't care to ever talk to him again. I honestly kind of feel like he's gonna die soon, to be honest with you. I don't have any real reason to think that other than other people I know that have died. They died when there was really nothing going for them in life and there was really nothing left for them. And I kind of feel like he's in that place. And to screw over a 11-year friend of yours also indicates somebody just doesn't have any understanding of things. Lack of understanding, lack of awareness. And I have changed a lot over the years with a lot of the traumatic situations that have happened to me. And just spending a lot of time by myself and that kind of stuff. So I think I've grown out of that relationship. And part of me ending that chapter and letting him know I'm done, because it's completely out of character for me to try to find somebody's probation officer. It's completely out of character for me. I don't like talking to police. I don't believe in calling the police unless you have to. I'm not that kind of person. But because he was threatening me and he just thinks he's just, you know, better than everyone. He does. He's a narcissist. I have found his PO and I have contacted her and I have talked to her several times. And he was not allowed to leave the state. So he was here and he wasn't supposed to be because he's in Washington and I'm in Oregon. And he has a theft charge now from stealing the robe, which I think is kind of strange because the police never met with me and they never even asked for any proof. They just talked to me on the phone, which makes me think that anyone can just call the police and say anything. And then when there's a police report, they just take it as like facts. I'm not lying about it, okay? But I just thought that was strange how they handled that. So he's in trouble. He met with his PO and she told me he just lied to her. And he spent 5 days in jail, which just, you know, sounds silly probably to somebody, especially to someone just got out of prison. It spent 7 years in prison. 5 years in jail is probably kind of a joke. So he probably laughed at me and thought, oh, haha, she thinks she's doing something. No, I wasn't trying to do anything to you. He said he was going to give the robe back to his probation officer. I'm not going to make a whole day of this. Okay, this is such a waste of my time. I don't want to see him. I don't want to deal with this. I just want to end this. So my way of ending it is that. I'm never going to talk to him again. I don't want to see him again. And all that. So I'm just done. If you know him and you think, oh, it's somehow this is unique to me, it's not. I can tell you countless times I've watched him screw other people over. I just didn't think he was really going to do it to me. Okay, I guess, you know, there's been a few people in my life who've pretty much said, I don't care what you say about me, say whatever you want, say whatever you need to, and he's one of those people. I don't think he was raised very well. I don't think he has the values he needs to be a good person. I don't think he knows how to be a good person. I think he's made a living off his looks his whole life because he was a male stripper. He won't stop talking about when he used to be a boxer on the Contender, which was like when he was 25 and now he's 42. It's just kind of pathetic. You know, he thinks he's God's gift. He has it tattooed on across his chest, God's gift. He literally believes that he can go anywhere in public and a woman will pick him up and just take care of him because he's just so good looking. I don't find him attractive anymore. He's not my type anymore. I don't want to ever be with somebody like that ever again in my life. He tried to come on to me when he was here. I found it disturbing and gross, and he's probably mad that I didn't want to. I'm not gonna do that with him, and I'm only gonna do that. There's only one person I'm comfortable doing anything like that with, and you don't need to know who he is. That's my business. So, I don't know, he might try to contact me. There's a no contact order between us. Doesn't stop anybody. Like, that's gonna stop anyone. But I kind of think that the way he left it before, when he came to get his stuff when he got out of prison, he might have already been done with me then, because he took him like 2 months to even contact me or even give me his number. I just thought friends. Literally nothing else. I don't care who he dates. I don't care who he sleeps with. I don't care. Okay? I don't. So, whatever. And maybe he's mad I didn't want to sleep with him. Maybe that's what this whole thing is. He couldn't play a game with me, and I'm just not going to do that. And I'm just rambling, and I'm losing my train of thought. He's not going to change, guys. He's not. You're not special. I'm, you know, more special than me if you think you're going to go whatever with him. He's just going to screw you over. He's been to prison multiple times. And one of the times he got out of prison, there was a woman that was taking care of him, and she thought she was going to marry him and have a life. And she did marry him in Vegas, and then he ended up just stealing her Cadillac Escalade and taking a bunch of stuff, and never seeing her again. They never spoke. He just took off. And I guess it got annulled. She probably did that, but he just doesn't care about anyone. It's just what he can get from you. And he's very charming, you know. He has that charm to him. He can be funny, but that's narcissists for ya. Okay, I'm just gonna jump in here because I forgot to say a couple things, and I just want to say everything I have to say about this and be done. I don't want to talk about this again unless he does something crazy, and then I have to. Let's hope that doesn't happen, but as of now, hopefully this is all I'm gonna ever have to talk about this ever again in my life. Okay? And there's no reason to just hide anything. I don't need to protect anybody. So when we hung out, it was just like a weird moment where I was looking at him and we weren't talking, and I just felt like I didn't know him anymore. Like he was a stranger. Like, who is this? It was really strange. And I don't know if it's something that happened to him in prison. I don't know if prison changed him. I don't know if I just outgrew him. I don't know if I just started seeing him for who he truly is. Could be any of those things. But it was just this disconnect and this weirdness. He also ended up calling some of the women that were sending him money when he was in prison. Now, I already knew there was a lot of different girls he was talking to get money, because when you're in prison, you can't really survive unless somebody sends you money. I did not send him money. I did not do something stupid like that. I talked to him on the phone. I sent him a couple pictures, but that was it. There was nothing else. I'm sure these women thought they were going to be in a relationship with him. That's why they sent him money and did whatever they did. And he called them. He put them on speakerphone. I could hear them. And I could tell it was the first time he had talked to them since he got out of prison. And I could hear the pain in their voice. Like deep pain. Pain I can't even fake if I wanted to. And it was just like, they said, "Why are you calling me now? You only call me when you need something?" Like they figure out they were just used. And I'm sure they thought he was gonna live with them. I'm sure he future faked with them, you know? He future faked with them pretty good. Now, maybe 15 years ago I would have fallen for this, but I have been around enough insanity and enough different types of people at this point in my life that you're not gonna get away with that level of manipulation. And that's kind of what was interesting about the video I made about him, because you kind of see the manipulation. You know, he acts like we're such great friends and this and that, and at the end he steals my robe. You know, like he doesn't care at all, because who does that to a friend? Maybe he didn't think there'd be any consequences, but it doesn't really matter. There is consequences. I'm not going to allow it to happen again. Anyways, it was just sad because when he hung up the phone with them, he just laughed. He didn't care. There was no regret. There was no like anything. It was just, he got what he wanted from them and that was it, and haha, joke's on them. And that was his reaction. And maybe he feels the same way about me. Haha, he got me for my robe. Fine. You know, he'll end up getting it stolen from him anyways, or he'll lose it because he can't keep anything. He loses everything and all that. So joke will end up being on him in the end, losing a good friend. Also, if you want to believe that going and being with his baby's mom, I only say baby's mom because I'm not going to use her name. It's not me being a weirdo. I'm just not going to use her name. It's not a good idea because she is a meth addict and she's never going to quit. And how do I know that? This has been on the news. This is public knowledge. I'm not talking shit. Like, this is not me sharing something that isn't publicly known. She had a kid with him years ago. She got the kid taken by the state when they were in Vegas. Foster care had him. Foster parent ended up murdering the kid. It was a big case in Vegas. There was a lawsuit. It was on the news. It was a big old thing. And the kid wouldn't have been taken if she wasn't on meth. Well, she had another kid with Lion. And she's still on meth. So I guess she hasn't learned from that situation. So I don't have any sympathy for these things, for these people. And they're just not people I want to know, and they're just not people I want to be around, and that's that. And I've grown a lot. I've learned a lot over the years. I've learned way too much about mental health, you know, combined with dealing with my sister, dealing with Benny, dealing with Lion, dealing with Mr., dealing with, you know, me, and learning more about autism and social anxiety disorder. So I think I'm pretty well-rounded in the mental health department. So yeah, a lot of things just aren't what you think until you learn about them. But yeah, I'm just not gonna, I think it's really healthy. I'm in a healthy spot that I'm able to go, this isn't good for me anymore, and I'm done. We're gonna hope that this opens a new chapter and something else really good comes about. I'm hopeful. We got Thanksgiving coming up. We got my birthday. My birthday's November 25th on Tuesday. Today's Sunday. And we got Thanksgiving on Thursday. So we got a whole bunch of stuff. But on another sad note, my sister is in jail. She's been in jail for over 2 months. And I don't want to get into much about her because she likes to watch my videos and then gets angry with me if I don't say things exactly right. I wasn't there for the situation. I just know what was said, and all I know is, you know, she's been living at my parents' house and they got in a fight, and my parents didn't feel like they could handle what was going on, whatever that was. I'm not gonna, and they called the police. And I don't think anyone thought she would be in jail this long. Creatures using his litter, that's what the sound is and stuff. And now nobody knows what's going to happen with that. We can't get any answers. And it's really stressing my parents out. And she doesn't have anywhere else to live but with my parents, but yet it's not really safe for them to have her there. So it just ends up being like a whole cycle of fuckery. So we're all dealing with something, you know, we all got our own tragedies and traumas and battles in our life, and that's just what's going on right here right now. So I wish I had some great fun video for you. I keep saying that and I just don't. Creature's messing with my light because he's Creature, you're messing with my light. Because I'm using the bathroom light here. Anyways, I'm going to just recommend staying away from Lion if you know him, for your own good. Hi, creature. Anyways, I have to go to my parents' house now. It's Sunday. But I'll get this video out for ya. Okay, wild animals. Hope you're doing a little bit better than me. Remember to hit the like button. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already. You can follow me on social media. Instagram is Kristen the Glamour Mess. And I'm a little bit selective who's on there. And if you're rude and disrespectful, I will just block you. That's life. All right. I will see you next time. Thought I would just show you my eyeshadow real quick. It's like a gold and a maroon. Does it look good? Does it look kind of silly? Thought it would look good with my green eyes and my dark hair. It's Jeffree Star eyeshadow. It's from this palette. So that's my makeup today. Creature. The thing is, you have an overflowing bowl of food and treats, by the way, that you haven't touched. And you're begging for more. No, creature, just eat what you got. There's no reason to dump more out. Just eat this. What is wrong with this? It's gonna be the same food. Creature, this is gonna be the same stuff. I just put that stuff in there not that long ago. No. No. Creature. Oh, don't be a beggar kitten. You're being an old beggar. What's wrong with this? What's wrong with that? Creature, what is wrong with it? I just put that in there not that long ago. Creature, stop. You're begging for no reason. You got food. Do you think I should give this to another kitten? I should put this outside? Should I take this outside and see if somebody else wants this? Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll just take this outside. Maybe somebody else will want this. What do you think? This is silly. Look at this. No, you don't need more food. That's plenty. That's plenty. What are you going to do? Have this whole thing overflowing and then you're still begging? It doesn't make sense. Creature, you're totally fine. You're totally fine. You are fine. You got plenty of food. You do.